Hey Miracle Makers, I'm Erica with the Spoiled Yogi blog, spoiledyogi.com, and we're talking today all about one of the biggest problems I hear from mamas in my prenatal yoga classes, which is insomnia. Of course, pregnant mamas have a lot harder time with insomnia than the general population, and there are a lot of reasons for that. But luckily, there are some things that we can do on our yoga mats right before we go to bed that can really help to alleviate a lot of those problems. Not all of them, but a lot. Before we jump in to my favorite yoga poses to help with pregnancy-induced insomnia, I have a little confession to make. And this is something that is likely to not make you like me very much, considering you probably just searched for insomnia. But sleeping is my best talent. It's true. I can sleep through just about anything and in very odd positions, in very odd places, and I feel rested and wonderful usually the next day. Even someone who is so good at sleeping, while I was pregnant, I didn't sleep so well. I'd really like to know, kind of like an informal poll, what is keeping you up at night? Take a minute and let me know below. Send me a little comment to tell me what is keeping you up at night to be with. So I'm going to take you through a few of my very favorite poses for right before bed. And if you have any props around, I would love for you to get them. Have a couple blocks. Have a bolster of this big purple one right here. If you don't have a bolster, just couch pillows really will get the job done. And you'll see why in just a second. So first and foremost, my absolute favorite pose for any kind of insomnia would be legs up the wall. I'm going to show you on the couch because I have it right here, but when you are in the later stages of your pregnancy, you don't want to do this laying flat on your back. So there's a couple options you could do instead. I actually really like the option where you make a stair step, kind of a staircase with your blocks, and then put your bolster on top. And so it looks just like that. It may be kind of hard for you to see from that camera angle, but luckily there are some good tutorials on this at spoiledyogi.com on my blog. So if you can't see this and you want better instructions, go look it up. Just look up legs up the wall and you should be able to pull it right up. I like this because it keeps you so that your back isn't flat on the floor, but then it also is really nice and supportive. So sacrum goes to the bottom edge of the bolster. You kind of lay on top, and then legs can just go straight up. Hands can go out to the sides. Knees might need to be spread just a little bit to make room for baby. And then I love just a hand to belly, a hand to heart. 5 breaths. Sometimes that's all it takes to kind of reset the nervous system. And then when you're done, you just roll over to the side and all the way off. And of course, you're going to roll into your hands and use your hands to press you up. If you don't have as much time to set yourself up, another thing that you can do is have the bolster like this. And then your hips are going to be elevated on the bolster, which is kind of hard for me to do with my camera pack, mic pack, whatever it's called, right? And then your shoulders are down and your hips are up. So that's another option that I like a lot. Okay. Another one that I love right before bed, pregnancy or not, is just a simple child's pose. So knees wide, big toes touching, hips are on your heels, and just come forward and down onto your bolster and snuggle in. So you can have your arms forward here, or you can bring your hands back so that they are in line with your toes, and then your shoulders can just round. And you just feel completely supported and completely grounded, and you can completely let go of any tension, any unnecessary thoughts, Any worries? Eventually you'll want to turn so the opposite cheek is on your bolster. And then press your hands down to lift yourself up. Come onto hands and knees. And then let's address the whole Charlie horse problem. So right foot comes behind you, toes to the floor, heel reaching. Just a nice gentle stretch to the calf muscle. It's a good thing to do right before bed. Big breath and then switch sides. I wish that I could tell you that this would make the whole Charlie horse cramp problem just go away, and that wasn't the case for me, but I did absolutely notice that they were a little less frequent and a little bit less intense when it did happen. So there's hope. And then come to hands and knees again, and keep your bolster or whatever you're using to elevate yourself right in front of you, and bring your right knee forward to the inside of your right wrist. So take a look at my right foot. It is going to kind of be right in front of my left hip, and then my foot is flexed so that the top of my foot is rooted and grounded down into the floor. And then I come up onto my fingertips, inhale, lift my spine, and then exhale, I just come forward and down any amount. Some mamas may need to go over to the left just a little bit to make room for baby. Some maybe want to go straight down. It all just depends on your body and what you need right now. So you can come straight down onto your bolster like we did before, or actually like being up on forearms and then stacked fists, forehead straight down. So we're opening up the hips. Which can sometimes help with low back pain, and we are also pressing that third eye point right down into something, which can be really super grounding and really soothing. So go there, take a couple breaths. And then lift on up. Come to hands and knees any way you need to. And just do the other side. So left knee comes forward to the inside of the left wrist. Make sure left foot is active and it's right in front of that right hip. And then maybe come up onto fingertips. Inhale first, lift the chest. And then exhale, come forward and down any amount. So you can be pretty upright here actually and still really feel a good stretch through the hip. Or you can come all the way down. Wherever you choose to be, let your head soften. Let your head just be heavy. And just take 2 or 3 breaths. Good. Walk yourself on back up. 2 poses left that I really love to do, and I didn't mention this, but you can stay in these poses for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, even longer if you need to, or if you just have the luxury of time. I'm just kind of taking you through them quickly because this is a short YouTube video. Let's build our staircase again. So you can build it at any height you want. I like this height. Some people like it to be a little higher. Nice firm blocks are always helpful. These are cork, which I love. Doo-doo. Dog hair covered bolster right on top. Real life yoga, right? And sacrum comes right to the bottom edge of the blanket. And let's do feet together, knees wide, and just lay on back. Supta Baddha Konasana. Palms face up. Take a couple breaths here, just feeling the knees drop down toward the floor. Let gravity just kind of pull them gently down. Find your breath. An eye pillow or something to cover and keep the eyes dark is beautiful here. You can even do just like a sock filled with rice or beans or something if you don't have an eye pillow. And then when you're ready for Shavasana or final resting pose, you can just straighten your legs out in front of you, let your feet open like a book, and settle in. Find your breath. Let your arms and your legs be heavy. Let your breath be smooth and easy and gentle. And maybe you notice when you're still, baby starts to go crazy in there and have a party. If that happens, just bring a hand to your baby. Bring a little smile to your mouth. The corners of your mouth curl up. Just take a moment to be grateful that you get to be a part of this process. And try to embrace it instead of being annoyed by it, which is so hard to do when it's the middle of the night and all you want to do is sleep. But that softening and that letting go can sometimes be more helpful for sleeping than anything else. Take one more breath in. Slowly let it out. Stay here for longer if you can. Otherwise, bend your knees, bring your feet to the floor, and roll all the way to the side. Bring your hands to the floor to press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Good. So I hope this helps you get better sleep tonight or whenever you practice it. Please know you can stay in these positions for much longer to get even a bigger benefit. And let me know what kinds of problems you'd like me to address in upcoming videos. Next week, I think we're going to be talking about sciatica, and I'll show you some of my favorite poses for those. And there's so much more where that came from. So please make sure you take the time, hit on that subscribe button, click on that little bell that you see so that you'll get notified whenever a new video comes up, because I don't want you to miss out on anything. And I hope that you have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time. May you each be blessed with peace and joy, love and light. Namaste.